and that's the sound of a brand new episode of the Twitch podcast. We're back again with another one, and of course, as always, it ain't right if I don't have my homie here, the White Rhino, in the virtual studio. And you can probably tell we changed up the scenery on my end, just try to, change up a few things, elevate ourselves, and just, make things a little better and sweeter for all you lovely folks that are listening out there or watching this video. But today's a very special day. I'll tell you why. Today, it is literally the 100th episode we're fucking recording here, and it's a milestone for us because we made it in a sense of 100 episodes in, and we enjoy doing this. And that's the one thing I think with anything, for anybody that's out there that that's doing something on the side or they want to do something on the side, but they're probably having a hard time to take that first step. And that's one thing I want you to remind yourself: am I going to do something that's going to make me happy, or is it something that's going to be more like work? Well, I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, me and my boy here, we do this because we fucking enjoy it. And we're also glad that, a lot of people that so far from what we've seen enjoy it as well. So we're doing our damn job right.
All over the world.
All over the world, and, baby. All over the world.
Let me just kind of speak on that a little bit too.
For sure.
100 episodes, 100. And we still keep going. We still keep going. Your mom quit after 100 dudes. You know what I mean? She kept bringing dudes home from the bar. She finally hit 100, and she's like, "I'm done. I'm not gonna find my Prince Charming." So, you know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Just getting straight piped down, dude.
On the 100th pipe, she was done.
Oh my God! Yeah, that's a good comparison. I mean, I can run with that, right? But of course, brother. I mean, I want to ask you, as I always ask on every episode, up until the 100th. How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Hobbling around. It was crazy, this freak injury that I got. It was just literally, it was the craziest thing. But anyway, I'm healing from it. I'm sure we'll talk about it a little bit more. I just want to capture the essence, the fact that we're 100 episodes into this. This is amazing. And I actually, the thing that I had ordered for this episode did not come in. FedEx bailed me. Yeah, they bailed me. It's, as far as I know, it's in Burlington, but they're saying they got some issues with it. So, once
we'll save it for another one. We'll save it for another one.
Once all that gets panned out, we'll break it out. But but it's definitely for the true people. You'll know right away when you see it. And you already know, I think. But anyway,
I know.
But for the people that have been watching this podcast and know how we get down and what kind of gets our juices flowing, it'll make sense.
Oh yeah, definitely, dude. And it's gonna be well worth the wait. So definitely stay tuned for that. But as of course, my boy was telling me that he's recovering. Now, I do want to touch on this because it's total randomness, and I definitely want to get to the bottom of it, of how the possibilities, or trying to figure out this mystery, because like you said, it was something that you did not expect. And when you told me this, I was more in a shock. Like, this dude must have done something for him to completely, fuck up what is your knee. Wow. And from what you told me, I'm gonna let you take the lead on this. But explain to the living people what happened the past couple days. Fill us in.
Yeah, so so we air our episode last week, right?
Yeah.
Everything's good, everything's normal. The next day, all I'm doing is just moving some stuff in my garage. No big deal, but I'm just noticing I got a pain in my knee, and and I'm just thinking, okay, that's weird, but I'm flexing it, I'm doing squats, and which, by the way, I found out squats are the last thing you want to do when you have a knee that hurts, because you don't know what's going on. So squats, you're just putting all that pressure.
Yeah.
So that's probably what did me over. But anyway, and then I'm like, holy shit, I can't, like it's just not flexing. I cannot bend my leg. And and it was just right above my kneecap. And so I go, to work the next day. And I'm literally, I can barely drive, because I can't move my leg. And I'm like, what is going on with this? And so, I get to work, and I work almost the entire day, but finally the pain just took me out of the game. I was like, all right, I've climbed too many stairs. I can't do this anymore. So, the next day I went to the doctor, And you know, my whole thing, right, being that someone who got the jab, right? They keep saying that this thing is a kill shot, you know, and they also call it the clot shot. And so
It's a new one.
yeah, the clot shot. So I'm thinking, oh my God, do I have a blood clot in my leg that's preventing me from moving?
Yeah.
You know, so I was like, all right, I got to go to the doctor right away. So I went to the doctor and I just told him, and they hate it when you bring up COVID. They hate it. They hate it. But I'm like, this is my life, right? I don't care. And so I'm like, listen, I got the jab, and I've been doing a lot of research on the internet, and they keep talking about clots, and I just want to make sure, I just want to rule out that a clot is not an option here, you know. And they're wheeling me around in a wheelchair and everything, and so they can't figure it out either. Like they're just like sitting there, they're just like, you know, okay, if it was a tendon, it would be this. If it was a clot, it would be this. If it was this, it'd be this. They can't do it. So finally, MRI time. So the next day I go do an MRI, and I'm freaking out because, you know, normally they inject you, they put the fluids in you.
Yeah.
Didn't need it on this one. This was all digital. So they ran it
shit.
on my knee. Yeah, no, it was so cool. But anyway, so then I look at my MRI. There's just this small little tear above my kneecap.
Yeah.
On the I don't know if it's a tendon. I don't know what that thing is. Muscle. It's not a muscle. It's like a tendon.
Yeah.
Or a ligament. I think it's a tendon though. But anyway, I'm not a doctor. Obviously.
As you can tell, right? Yeah. We're not doctors. We're not professionals here, right?
No. But so there's a small little tear. So they end up putting me in this full leg brace. Now I did not know they were going to put me in a full leg brace.
Yeah.
Like okay, driving was already bad enough. Dude, I did the stupidest thing. I drove
Oh my God.
with this full leg brace on. You cannot. Okay, so like, luckily I was just taking back roads, and it was just, there was not a lot of traffic out at this time.
Yeah.
But like your reflexes from hitting the gas or the brake, because when you can't move your leg, so I was like, oh my God, I just got to get home. And I was too afraid to take it off. But anyway, so I'm just thinking, how did this happen, you know?
Yeah.
And all I can think is that I've been eating less meats. I've been going to a more plant-based diet.
Okay, interesting.
I've been cutting out dairy. I've been cutting out cheese. And it wasn't gout. I thought for sure. Oh, maybe it's the brewskis. Maybe I'm getting gout. You know, but no gout, no nothing. But anyway, and so yeah, so I just thought maybe like, my body is so used to like the red meats and the proteins and all that. And then I've just like, ever since January, I've been cutting all that stuff out. Maybe my body's like, fuck you. Or I have other theories. So, you know, we were talking about in the last episode, or a couple episodes before I went to DC, we were talking about these Russians, about, you know, shooting their foot off. And if they, you know, as they were going to war, they didn't want to fight Ukraine, so they're just blowing their foot off. And I said, yeah, I'd do that too. So you are actually the one that brought this up. I think you may have cracked that theory, at least. You brought that theory up. It's a beautiful theory. But I think that was a manifestation that came to fruition there. So that's one theory. The other one is maybe, you know, I went really hard on the sports where these trans athletes are stealing all these women's, things. There's that, but then there's also, like, I was also talking about all these women's sports, how they have lower views, lower views, lower audience, whatever. And so, you know, the women's athletes are like, oh, we're not getting paid as much. And so I was like, well, maybe a witch saw or heard our podcast and like got her little voodoo doll out.
Cast the fucking hex.
Stuck me in my knee.
Oh, dude.
You know?
Possibility.
So, I mean, you know, so I got to be careful with my words is all I'm saying. I mean, you know, when I was talking about my plane going down, you know, before, I was like, hey, if the plane goes down, it's the CIA. Dude, my plane had that choppy landing. So I'm just saying, our words can... like they are not just sounds. They are not just audible noises we make with our mouth. They have a lot of weight to them. They things into reality. And so I think that's the lesson that I'm learning from this, is that I've got to be, especially as our audience grows, I've got to be a lot more careful with my words.
So I do want to say, before we dig into this mystery, because I just think it's wild, right? Because yes, and what's even more crazy, right? If people don't know that the reference to what we're talking about the soldiers up in Russian soldiers were trying to shoot themselves in the foot to prevent themselves from going into battle. And we actually made a clip. I made a clip and posted it up on our Instagram. If you're not following us at the Titucci Podcast on Instagram, you'll be able to check it out. And it's actually beginning a lot of activity. So it's we got a few comments on there, just people enjoying the clip. And fast forward, literally that week, I get this text message that you told me that you were walking around funny and you possibly could have injured yourself. So now I'm thinking to myself, maybe you injured yourself at work. Something must have happened, maybe outside of work, you put so much strain on it. And then little did I know, you're telling me you're about to leave work early to go to the doctor, get it checked out. And I'm like, oh shit, this must be really serious. So I'm trying to keep tabs on, making sure you're cool. And I'm like, dude, what if they amputate your leg and you're really speaking into existence about, you blowing your foot off? You're like, oh shit, what if? But I'm like, hey, I mean, it's good for you now knowing that you won't go to war now if we do go to war. So you'll be at home chilling, right? So the podcast shall continue from there.
Yep. I'll just be the guy that is at the keyboard and does the drone bombing, and then I'll just I'll make sure to miss my mark every time,
Just oh, shoot, it's firing off to a different direction.
Yeah.
You hit one of our ships, Brett.
No. It would be like a desert or something where casualties would be minimal.
Okay. No casualties, of course. We don't want no people
casualties. Lizards, of course. I don't even want to kill lizards and snakes and horny toads.
Oh shit! But no. So you have no. You don't have any possible explanation on how this could have happened. You literally just started feeling some major pain on your knee, and you're like, something's not right. Something's definitely not right. I'm walking pretty weird. There's something going on here. Because I'm sure it must have caught you off guard. Dude, something's going on.
Okay, so a couple weeks ago, I just noticed there was just a little bit, as you get older, you start to get little pains here and there. So a couple weeks ago, I bought a knee brace, and I meant to take that. Well, I did take it with me to DC. I thought I lost it, but when I got back from DC, it was at the very bottom of my backpack. I'm like, damn, it was there the whole time.
Yeah.
But so I didn't wear my knee brace at all during my trips and or my walks, we're out 12 hours a day walking, and so, but I didn't really feel like anything was happening. It was just, here it is. I worked for a week, right? No, I worked for a day. I only came back for a day. And then but the day before I was just moving, I was Sawzall. We had an old couch I was cutting up. I was getting ready to take that to the dump, but when I was squatting, that's when I just that's when I felt it. That's when it was just it was almost like that squat is what just there was already that micro tear, and it just tore it enough to where
okay.
Then it just and you look at my knee, it is swollen. And I sent you a video of me trying to lift my leg. So I was showing in reference, here's my left leg is lifting up, and then my right leg, I just could not.
Yeah, it wasn't going up. I'm like, dude, you could just tell that it was that serious to where you couldn't even move your other leg, the leg that's injured. And I'm over here damn, this is fucking bad. My homie can be out for more than a couple weeks, months, because a knee injury is pretty fucking serious, especially if you have
6 weeks in the brace. Yeah.
Oh, dude. So I mean, so far right now, just trying to we're trying to piece together a mystery. That's what we're trying to do right now.
Yeah.
Because our boy's he's down for the count, so he's working with one leg. Does it feel better now? Do you feel any major pain? I mean, is it better than the day before? I mean, we're making progress. How's it looking like now?
So, I still do hella coke all day. That's just nothing's going to change that.
Yes.
But I haven't taken any painkiller. Yeah, that's the side effect of coke. Is, I've just been out there. I have my shotgun, and I'm just peeping through the blinds. Oh, dude, I'll tell you. This is talk about paranoia.
All right, let's hear it.
I'm looking at my security camera, and first, I didn't see that. I didn't notice it at first. I come outside. and I noticed my lawn is mowed. Someone mowed my lawn. And so I was thinking, dude, do I have like a friendly neighbor? So I go through the security cameras, you know.
Oh shit.
And you know me, I'm packing, I've showed you, fools ain't gonna catch me slipping.
Yeah. No, you got the burner on you. You got the burner on you. Code.
Always, always gotta, what is that? Compensate for my weaknesses. You know?
There you go. That's perfectly said.
Can't knee him in the ribs. Then gotta resort to other measures. But anyway, so I check my security camera.
Yeah.
And I'm like, thinking, which one of my neighbors am I gonna like high five?
Yeah.
Pulling a real one, but it's some dude. It's some dude in like a high vis thing, and he just, it was quick. He just like went,
yeah.
It's just like a one and done. Anyway, so I think what it was somebody I think our master HOA hired a new company, and they don't know what houses are not their houses to mow because ours is not one. We do our own.
Yeah.
But they probably just said, "Man, this house looks like shit."
Someone doesn't take care of their lawn.
So he just rolled up with the mower real quick, But yeah, so I was just like, wow, that worked out.
So yeah, that's a good thing. You can't knock that, right? But imagine like someone's mowing, like, get the fuck off my lawn,
Yeah.
It's like they're trying to do a nice gesture, right?
I'd be like, I would have probably just been like, yo, if I would have seen him, but it was like 10 in the morning. I was still sleeping from my, I didn't get to bed until like 5 a.m.
Jesus.
You know how that is.
So, so far aside from that, it must be tough getting around and all that, but yeah, man, I still can't believe that happened. Like I said, it was out of the blue. Yeah. And I'm just kind of like thinking, like hoping there's nothing like to the point where you got to get surgery. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But yeah, bro, hey, I definitely hope that you get better and you're definitely back on both of your feet. And it's just one of those things where it really happened it was just really random for me to really just like hear that from you.
How many times do I joke about like my little character is little Bobby, in his wheelchair. Hey guys, and, that's my character that I've created. That if we ever like get to the point where we can make a cartoon and base it on my beautiful childhood, I would love to let the world see my childhood in an artistic fashion. But my main character, his name is Little Bobby, and he's got the wheelchair rolling around. And, and I was just thinking, oh, my God, what if I'm in a wheelchair? So I'm like, while I'm out, I'm like thinking, oh, my God, like, am I going to have to sell a house? How am I going to do this if I can't work on my legs anymore?
Dude, I know, man. I know. It's like I said, it's your fucking leg, and that's gonna be definitely making it difficult for you to get around. But yeah, dude. Hopefully that. Excuse me, it's the beer talking. Excuse me again. Oh man, this Michelob, dude. I definitely. Speaking of, we're drinking on a Michelob Ultra today. I guess it's fucking free promo until they fucking pay us. So hopefully you do. But no, man. I want to tell you a crazy story, and I'm sorry for changing subjects. But again, I hope you feel better, brother. We definitely want to get you back on your both feet.
Get there. Yeah.
So I had a crazy little incident that came up today. Well, a couple days ago, and it's my paranoia alert went through the roof. And I'll tell you this. So I took a little lovely trip to Target. It was Friday afternoon yesterday, right? And I'm walking in there, just kind of like to scope. I went to scope out. I went to go get some stuff for, I think I want to get some toothpaste and toothbrush, right? So I walk in or whatever, and, you're thinking you're going to go to the store, just go get what you need to get, come out.
Yeah.
I literally witnessed a robbery, like, in front of my face. Some gentleman took some stuff, put it in his pocket, walked out. And mind you, there was a security guard at the front door. And I'm thinking to myself, so what's the purpose of this person standing here if they're not going to do anything? But then I learned, or I've heard when I talk to people about this, that they really can't do anything about the situation. So it's like, damn, we come to this point where shoplifting is like nothing now. It can be done. It's whatever. And so that's the first incident that I managed to witness, right? So as I'm walking back to my car, whatever, I unlock it and I'm walking back, I see a couple of people looking at cars to pretty much break into. They're wiggling the door handles. They're trying to open it. And I'm just standing there. Literally, I'm just standing there kind of like looking at them and just kind of like nodding my, like just pretty much saying, what in the fuck is going on? And they're just going about it, just going into the middle of the parking lot, just trying to go and just search to see if they can even break into a car so they can snag whatever. But I honestly felt like for that moment, I was like in Gotham City. Like, this is getting pretty crazy out here. And, you know, I was paranoid, dude. I was paranoid getting in my car, getting out of the parking lot and driving back home. And I just had a conversation with another homie of mine outside the podcast, like outside of, you know, an old friend of mine. Right. And he was saying the same thing, that it's getting pretty bad out there. And dude, I mean, lately I've been getting paranoid because I want to reference to what you were saying, that you were pretty paranoid yourself about homeboys mowing your lawn, which is a good thing. I mean, shout out to the homie who fucking mowed your lawn, but it's pretty bad out there. And I just wanted to speak about that because it's like I'm more alert now to where, you know, I definitely need to get that burner too, if you know what I'm saying. So,
well, I thought you already had one, but
I'm still looking.
Okay. Well, I told you what to get.
Oh yeah. Oh, you did.
It's sleek. And it complies with the new Washington laws. Now, the new Washington state laws. Have you heard about the clip?
So okay, I'm gonna try to say this off top like a rhyme, right? So it's in effect as of, I want to say, they say it's in June, right? That'll take effect. Is it June or it's already in effect now?
I don't know when, but yeah, it's, you know, if you already have one, your grandfathered in.
But it'll be limited to a 10 bullet clip. You can't go more than that.
Yep. Now, and you know, mine, I've got 15 plus one in the chamber. So, you know, so that would affect me, but I'm grandfathered in.
Yeah. You're safe
for now. But California did this thing where they took that and they scrapped that grandfather law, and then they applied it to everyone. So that could certainly happen. If that is the case, then you know, I don't know what I'll have to do, but it's pretty.
Go
ahead. No. What I want to say though, and this is just part of why I'm still rocking the hat, is
see that.
I mean, seriously, it's this country, it's our area, given that, you know, we are in a very liberal area, and that is going with the Biden beat of, you know, lawlessness, really. I mean, you said Gotham. I have been watching this show called Gotham.
Oh, have you?
And you know, I tell you, man. You know, I never understood this superhero stuff, you know, people watching the superheroes, and you know, and I know you're a big superhero head, so I've just never really like put any thought into it. But now I'm like, okay, I get this stuff. Like, I get this. It's like, you know, so anyway, I witnessed a high-speed speed chase. And, you know, the other day, Friday, it was on a Friday, and I see this. So the first thing I saw, and I didn't put the two together until more cops showed up. Anyway, so first I see this. Let's see, what was the first thing? The first thing I saw was the sheriff who was coming out with his lights on, but then he pulled a U-turn, and then he turned his lights off as soon as he made the U-turn, right? So he's going the opposite of my direction. Okay. But then, and I'm in the slow lane. I'm in the right lane. And then all of a sudden, down the center median comes just barreling this BMW. It looked like it was nice, but it had definitely hit some curbs, you know. And I mean, I'm not even joking. And so it's just races past us. We're in a 45, and this car was going 90, my man.
Whoa!
It just right
Insane.
past us. So I'm like, oh my god, that guy needs to get pulled over. You know, I'm like, not here, not in Washington. So, but then all of a sudden, I see about 10 cop cars. So we get to this intersection, busy highway intersection. This guy, the BMW, does not even stop. He's just rips right through the intersection, takes a right. He's up on this highway now. Now he's on the highway, and then you know, all these cops just come. I mean, dude, it was like 20 cops chasing this dude, and I thought, so my turnoff, I had to turn off. And it looked like the guy had wrecked, so I'm like, okay, sweet, I've got to get this appointment real quick, and then when I get out of the appointment, if he wrecked, I'll still see it, you know? Yeah. Anyway, when I got out of my appointment, everything was gone, but so who knows if they even got the guy, but like, it's the weirdest thing, because in Washington now, they have this law where you can't chase people, so I it's so, like, how do you do this? How, like, if you're a cop and Biden and Jay Inslee have you handcuffed, how do you do your job?
Dude, I don't know.
And we need a fucking Batman. We need a Batman.
I know, dude.
We need vigilantes in this state and in this country.
I
now.
don't doubt that down the road there's going to be something like that happening where, like, people are going to definitely rile up, and I definitely, I'm with it. Like, if you need to definitely hold your ground and protect your neighborhood and protect your home against like just the bullshit that's happening, I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? So I think that down the road we're going to see some of that stuff popping up where people are going to be saying enough's enough. We need to take back our fucking our communities, our fucking towns, all that, and it's going to happen for the greater good, because it's getting pretty crazy for me to witness that, to see that it's just getting pretty fucking bad. It's really eye opening. So
it seems so nonchalant, and it
exactly
like when I watch this Gotham show, it looks like it's a parallel of our own society, where like the criminals feel so emboldened now.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, how, like, it's gonna suck for the criminal that comes to my home.
Yeah.
And because like I'm not that guy. I'm not going to put my family at risk. My family is gonna be good. They're gonna be protected. But then even then we live in this state that coddles these criminals. So do I get a murder charge for defending my family? Someone breaks into my home, and even though on the books it says I'm entitled to protect my home, if I kill someone in my home, will the law see that as murder? And because they're always going to ask, well, why didn't you talk him down? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? And I'm not trained to do all of that. I'm trained to protect my daughter and my wife.
Yeah.
And that is all. That is it. And if you come into my home, my castle, and then in Montana we had what's called the castle doctrine. You come anywhere on my property and you threaten my life, then legally I can take yours.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's it is what it is.
They don't have the castle doctrine. So
yeah.
It's just the weirdest thing. It's the weirdest thing that we as voters, there are more voters voting pro-crime, against the cops, against safety, against community safety, that it's just like, what is going on right now? And
it's crazy. And to go with that, right? It's just crazy to think that, I mean, let's say you put yourself in that situation, somebody breaks into your home, and obviously you're going to protect your home, your family, whatever, and you end up doing what you got to do. This person could literally turn around and say they were not in the best mental state and turn around and sue you for doing that. Isn't that fucking wild? Yeah. Dude, it is mind blowing to me that that's a possibility. You know what I'm saying?
I will say this. This is one thing that, when I purchased one of my firearms, the advice given to me, because they understood the Washington state laws, is to alleviate that situation that you described. It was told to me that if someone breaks into your house and your life is at risk, you have to shoot to kill. You have to, because this state is so crazy, they will make you pay the medical expenses for the perpetrator.
Insane. That's insane, bro.
And it's like, dude, now you're putting this thing, like, if normally, you'd think, oh, maybe I can just shoot, go for the leg, let him go on again, whatever. But, now this state is making it to where it's like you have to literally take him out of the game. And that's crazy, because now you got to live with that.
Exactly. I mean, but at that point, it's like you said, it's either you or them, or them or your family, whatever, so you really got to be put in that situation to understand that, you're there to protect your own, to hold your own. So, I mean, it is what it is at that point, my friend. So, I mean, more of the story, it's getting pretty crazy out here, and people need to definitely take a stand for themselves and just protect what you have and your family members, and just look out for each other. I mean, that's just pretty the message that we're really trying to spread out here, and that's just kind of what we're about. I mean, it's nuts though, man. It's nuts. I definitely wanted to bring that up and talk about it, because it's wild to me that it's pretty much like a nonchalant thing, like you said. That's a perfect way to say it. It's like whatever, like stealing. It's whatever. They're not gonna do nothing about it. Just keep on doing it. But it is we're living in wild times, my friend.
My wife too. She was telling me about a time where she was involved in a high speed chase where the suspect just came barreling right past her, and the cop was right behind her, and she said she was just scared because all she did was just pulled over and just let everyone go. But it's like, it's happening to everyone I know, with you,
too often,
with
too
my
frequent.
wife, with me. It's just like when, like, this leg injury, back to that. It's just like I feel like there's a sign, and I feel like the sign is saying, Brett, it's time to move. It's time to get out of here. It's time to get out of Washington State. It's time to get to a state where, in the state we're looking at is Florida.
Oh, really? Okay.
Where, law and justice prevail in Florida. And I'm not afraid to let my child go to a public school down in Florida. Right here, our daughter's registered in a private school. And it's just because I am deathly afraid of the curriculum that they give. And it's not just the curriculum, but it's also the attention that they aren't giving. And it's like, there was one thing I saw in COVID. There were so many teachers unions that were fighting tooth and nail not to teach our students. And so now you look at all the students, they've seen all these studies that now these students are fundamentally delayed. And I'm going, okay, if it costs me an extra few G's a year, I will pay to have my daughter in private school. And that's exactly the move we made. But, it's like, I don't know. It's gotten so insane in this state that it's just like the only thing going for us right now is the property values just keep going up. So when we have to finally just like decide it's time to go, it's time to go.
Yeah, no, I hear you that, man. Hey, it's you got to definitely, look out for the interest of your family at that point, and I don't blame you one bit, brother. It is it's changed a lot. I'll tell you that. Like, I remember the days like when I used to come up here, visit my family, because before I used to live here in the Everett area, I used to live over the other side of the mountains by Lake Chelan. People that aren't aware of a little small town called Pateros. Chelan. People know the area of Chelan pretty well because it's like a vacation spot. Area. Yes. So I used to live on that end, but when I used to come visit over here, man, it was night and day difference, man. Night and day difference. So different. This is like taking it back to 1999, 2000, 2001 year. So it was definitely vastly different. You wouldn't see none of the stuff you see now. It was just, like I said, it was just like night and day. And then you fast forward to 2022, it's like, damn, what happened to this city? It's like this used to be a nice ass fucking, like, Everett, Linwood, Seattle, out of all places, totally different. Now it's just like, dude, you see just tents parked up on the side of the exits. It's like, it's crazy. It's like, that's not supposed to be there. Yeah, drugs. Dude. Oh man. Rapid. So yeah, man, it's but we're trying to make it out here. I mean, dude, that's what I say. We're trying to make it out here and just try to stick to our own and just live life. But I don't know, man. Gotham City. Could Seattle turn into Gotham City? That's crazy though that you watched that show. I'm pretty surprised you started getting into that.
Yeah, I think I'm on like the 3rd season now.
Okay.
There's like 5 seasons of it. But I'm going to have to check out some of these other shows, especially the ones that you've been watching, like the Marvel. What's the Marvel one that you watched?
So recently, the new ones that are out, obviously, is Moon Knight. Moon Knight's pretty good so far. Moon Knight's out right now. And there's actually quite a bit of shows right now. I mean, you really have to dive into the Disney app and just check out. There's a bunch of shows, dude. I'm going to tell you, if you're going to be just chilling at home, definitely go through the Disney app and just look through everything. And dude, I'm sure you'll find something you'll like. It's Disney's a powerhouse, man. Disney is really doing well with in regards to the shows, the standalone shows. And of course, you got the big blockbuster movies that are coming out, like Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. That's coming out here in May. There's a big hype over it. And dude, I mean, it's like a cult-like following over there. So, I mean, I'm sure you'll find something you'll like.
So Marvel is owned by Disney?
Yes, Disney owns Marvel. Yeah, and what's crazy, Warner Brother owns Batman.
Gotcha.
Yeah, okay, Warner Brother owns Batman.
Warner Brothers own Batman, but DC in general?
Yes, I think they do.
Okay.
They own DC. Yeah, man.
Okay.
It's kind of weird how that works because different company owns different what is it? Superheroes. Like Sony owns Spider-Man and a few other people, but it's like or other superheroes or villains. But then it's like Disney owns majority of all the superheroes and villains. So it gets pretty
Yeah.
tricky with that and how it's split up. It's just fucking crazy. But
Isn't that weird?
it's weird, dude. It's weird. It's all about money, but in the end, you know what I'm saying?
It is all about money.
Who forked over the most for whoever character?
Yeah. So another thing too that I want to touch tips on.
All right, let's touch tabs. Let's go for it.
So like the one thing that I've done. I don't know if it's part of being on the show or if it's just me as a person, but I talk to different people from different areas of the world, and and so I've been donating through crypto with in Venezuela, and then but also like Colombians. I talk to Colombians. I talk to Filipinos, and as so the weird, it's so mind blowing, the disparity of wealth between like America, Europe, Canada, and like south south of south of America, so like Mexico on down, a lot of the Asian countries, and even Eastern Europe. It's like we have two completely different. We have rich and we have poor, and it's so wild. So they talk about this Great Reset. So this is what I'll get to the point. Sorry.
It's all good, bro. It's all good.
Inebriation is kicking in.
No, it's all good, man. It's all good. That's what it's all about here.
So the Great Reset that everybody's talking about, they're talking about that by 2030, the saying by Klaus Schwab is that you will own nothing and you will be happy. And the idea is that they take this wealth throughout the world and they basically, us in America, us in the the countries that are more developed and have the wealth and the capital, we would see less, and then the countries such as like Colombia, Venezuela, Philippines, Laos, Cambodia, they would see an uptick. They would see more wealth, and so things would be more even. And so, but the way that the Klaus Schwab wants to do it is they want the world government to be centralized. So they want like basically one central figure to own or control the entire world. And I'm thinking, okay, so I agree on the problem. I agree on the disparity of wealth. I like when you have people that are, you have oligarchs in Russia that own these yachts and that just have ungodly amounts of money.
Yeah.
Go to the Middle East, look at any of those people that are in these oil-rich countries, and they have like gold Lamborghinis, and then
toilets and shit.
Go take a trip to a village in Thailand, and they're making little rice patties in their village, and that's how they make money. And so everything they do in a year is something that someone in Saudi Arabia, ultra rich, does in a second. 1 second of their life does the same type of income that it takes someone in a village in Thailand a year to do.
That's insane, bro.
That's what has to be fixed, right? I do agree on the fix, and I think that we as a world need to understand it. Is the Great Reset from Klaus Schwab the answer? No, I don't think so, because it's putting too much control on those on one party, and there's so many, like, they want all of our digital data. They want digital income where they give you like universal basic income. They give you a set allotment of money, and then they get to decide where you get to spend it, where you get to do all that. So I think we as a world need to come up with something other than what they're coming up with, but to fix the same problem. to fix the disparity, and we're seeing it in America. We're seeing it, we are starting to see everything starting to crumble. Everything's starting to fall apart. And, but how do we fix this? And I think that we can do this without the likes of Klaus Schwab, without the likes of all these, New World Order heads. I think that we can do this as a people. And I think that we can do it in a very democratic way. But I think that we are in a day where, because we're so integrated, we have to figure out a way how we can do this together.
Mm-hmm.
But it would take wealth away from, like, our billionaires, right? Our billionaires like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, all those, you can name them all. And, it's going to take money from them. But and I can't, there's so many people that are like, oh, well, they made it. No, we're not following our own laws when it comes to monopoly laws. When you have a company like Apple that is buying companies like we buy groceries every 2 weeks, that is so against what this country and this world is really supposed to be about. You're not supposed to consolidate power into a very few set of people. So that's what we have to build: entrepreneurship. We need to get all of this stuff going, but share the wealth, spread the wealth, and share it.
Yeah, man. It's one thing to go with that. It's always crazy to me when you think about, you're talking about how they make, what is it? You were talking about rice patties? Is it rice patties you were talking about?
Rice patties. Yeah, there was a lady that was cutting my hair. She came over from Thailand, and she was telling me about her life in Thailand. And she's like, it was just, now she cuts hair for a living, But it was like they were talking about how they would, they like something with coal too. She would have to like cut up the coal. I don't know all the details with all of it, but she would have to do all this stuff. There's African villages where these girls have the choice: go walk 10 miles to get enough water for the day, or go to school. So that's why a lot of females in Africa are uneducated, is because they have to be the people that go out and get water. It shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that. But, here we are. We have, our girls don't walk 10 miles for water. You know what I mean? They walk to the fridge and they get what they need.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's man, you think about that stuff, and then when when you see the true reality that other countries face just like much more bigger problems than what we face, it's almost like an awakening that, in a sense, it's almost like you need to see that to really realize that a lot of the stuff, or a lot of the problems that you have sometimes on a daily basis, ain't really that bad. You know what I'm saying? And it's almost crazy to think, like, I remember going to the part of Mexico where my parents came from. You would see people living their best lives, like literally being happy where they were at.
Yes.
And then I at that age, it kind of hit me a little bit. But remembering now, like fast forward, like when I got older, it's like I try to remember stuff and humble myself a bit to be like, these problems that you're having now, these are like first world problems. They ain't problems like other people, other villages, like people from all over the world that are probably aren't, they live on these little villages, like you said, they're happy as can be. They're living day by day. That they're grateful for what they have, and it's almost like, fuck, man. Sometimes I need to kind of just chill out a bit to be like, remember, like, man, you're good. You're more than good right now. You should really just be thankful for what you have and just live life, man. And it's good to talk about that, because, I mean, it's almost like remembering and kind of a reminder in a way. You know what I'm saying? And then especially the fact when people tell you that, like you were saying, the lady that cut your hair. It's just like really eye-opening to really kind of like take a good whiff of reality sometimes and just kind of wake up, like, damn, like I really got nothing to complain about over here. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy how that works to really just get that like solid reminder,
I think that everyone can look at their own life. Like me, I look at the thing I look at the most, right? I look at my daughter, my youngest daughter, Isabella. And when she was born, her aortic valve wasn't open all the way. There's 3 flaps, and during development, one of her flaps didn't open all the way. And so we had to go to Seattle Children's, where they did an emergency operation on her heart, where they put this little balloon and blew this little balloon into her valve, 3 millimeters, and we're talking that is
Tiny.
technology. And I'm thinking, if I were in Eastern Europe, in a country like, I don't know if I'm trying to think of a name. Lithonia, is that a name? I think that's one of the.
It's a name now. Fuck it.
Or or a village in Africa or whatever. You would not have those technologies, and my daughter would not have made it another week without that surgery. That heart would have not gotten enough blood, and so I'm just thinking. So that's one thing in my life where I'm just like, I have to. That's why I love giving. I love, when I see people in other countries, I love giving them something. I know that I can't give them what was given to my daughter, right? Was this opportunity for life.
Yeah.
But what I can give, I do, and just recognizing that all of us are have a purpose for somebody. You don't know what your purpose is, right? You just know that when there is that calling, that you step up to the plate, because you have no idea what your skills and expertise was developed for.
Yeah.
And I think that when you do step up, you have no idea what you did, but all you know is that you just did, you stepped up. There was a calling, you answered it, you did it. You can at least live, like, on your last day on earth, you can at least say, you know what, I did what I could with the resources that I had.
Exactly. And that's, I think that's the most important part. It could be even the smallest little things, like you said, right? And it could go a long way for others. And that's like the crazy thing right there. Like, something, what you would think would be small could be huge for somebody else. And I think that's something definitely we need to, I mean, for me especially, it's a good feeling to do that, and it's a good thing to kind of like you said, your ending days, because everybody has their, their days where it's lights out and that's it. You could definitely go good with knowing that you did your best, what you could, in regards to just giving, and being a giving person or helping somebody out. So, I mean, I definitely feel you on that, brother. I mean, hey, cheers to that. I want to slam some of this Michelob down, of course, for our 100th episode. But yeah, brother, it's it's wild. I keep bringing the 100th episode out because it's crazy to me that, sorry for changing the subject. I'm sorry. We go everywhere on the podcast here. I'm sorry. But it's wild to think that, we're literally at 100 episodes deep. And it's like, I look back. So today I kind of had time to have a moment to look back at everything from episode 1. We had your lovely wife, Daya. Shout out to Daya. For the first episode that kind of broke into the barriers of the podcast realm. And honestly, it was like, I was a little bit nervous that day because, I've done it a few times because we had a different, like, we'll release them someday. It's what we like to call them. They're like the Tiddish podcast episodes from the vault. And there's a lot of episodes that we had, the practice runs of, we were trying to figure out the formula of how we wanted this to go about, the testing the waters, you could say, right?
Yep.
But you look back at episode 1 and we were still in the midst of trying to find out a formula, what could work for us and what we wanted to be. Yeah. But I think in the midst of that, like, as we started doing like episode 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever, you know what? It was a reminder that, we really don't want to fit into a certain category. Mind you, yeah, they put you in categories where it's like a comedy podcast, entertainment, horror, all that stuff. Cool. Mind you, if you want something specific, there's something definitely for your taste out there, and you can go look up, boom, you'll get it. But for us, it's like we want to dive into every little thing, and we like to be such a random podcast because, like, today we could do a 100th episode to where we just reflect, but talk about shit that's on our mind, because that's what really this is about, to really speak our minds and kind of just build a conversation off that so we can, put out there for people to enjoy and get a conversation going, right? And that's kind of like the main purpose of this. But to look back and to think, like, it is really crazy that me and you did this on our own. We have fun doing it. We enjoy it. We put it out. And when we hear people saying, yeah, we listen to your podcast. It's cool. We're avid listeners. I'm like, yeah, this is crazy to think that we're at this point in age, 2022, where like back then you would think like, oh, well, you need this equipment, you need people to help you do this, you need people to help you do this and that. But it's like, it's really like a 2-man army right here, you know? And I look back at that and I'm like, it is really wild to think it's just Brett and me, like to really make this happen, you know?
I remember when we first started, right? The whole thing that started this whole thing was where me, you, and a bunch of other people, we would meet up in the morning and we would just get highly caffeinated, right? And I'd be making my cold brew and we'd be drinking the cold brew and it would spark these conversations, right? And it was like this room where all of us were so different from each other, but the caffeine did
like
something to us.
Yeah.
And then we just like, before we even started our day, we would just have the most random conversations. And I remember talking to you and talking to Christian, being like, dude, we should like do this, but like on a podcast. Because I think like we have the most random conversations that I wonder what people would think if they heard, you know, our perspective on different things, different topics that come up. And because the world like throws all these weird headlines at us, and we're just like, how do we handle these headlines? How do we, you know, how do normal, well, I won't call us normal people, but we'll call our you know, our audience normal people, right?
Yeah.
We consider
we'll
you
be
guys
the weird
normal.
ones. We'll be the weird ones.
But that's so. I think that's what it takes, though. Is that it takes that, you know? Okay, who's gonna decide out of this group to become less normal, you know, and be spontaneous enough to talk about these things in a way that is hopefully interesting, right? But in a way that I mean, the way that we would have these conversations with our little group, everybody had something to say. And we were just like, dude, we got to replicate this, but we got to do this on a more grand level. And we did. That's what started the Tip Touch. And it was just like seeing it go from there to like what you said, like when we first started, we were so scared. We were so scared. We didn't know what to say. We didn't want to like, you know, piss anybody off. We didn't want to say the wrong thing. Because at least in our small group, if we said something that was offensive, somebody could respond and be like, hey, wait a minute. And then we could like, no, that's not what we meant, you know, whatever. But, you know, and then to see what it's become now, where we've had guests from all over the world. Yeah. And it's just been so cool. We've talked to rappers, we've talked to reggae musicians, we've talked to psychologists, and who?
Barbers, tattoo artists.
Barbers.
Dude,
tattoo artists. And, you know, and these are people that were just like, it was so cool to have their fingerprint on the Tip Touch. And it's just been such a beautiful ride. It's been a beautiful run. We are not slowing down, even if it comes to the point where, you know, one or both of us end up moving. We now have a format that we can work with, that we can still keep this thing going.
Definitely. And to add to that, you know, it's, I mean, again, beautiful journey. I fucking 110% agree with that. It's been a hell of a ride. It's definitely cemented in, I would say, Tip Touch podcast history for sure, because it's definitely a fucking monumental, for me, milestone to hit 100 episodes. But of course, you know, we were definitely taking up a notch, and of course, I promoted this on our Instagram. What we're calling the bonus round episodes, where I'm trying to definitely, you know, kick it up a level, and I've obviously, you know, talked about this with my homie here, Brad, about doing bonus round episodes with just various people, to where, for one, we definitely want to deliver more content. That's one thing I feel it's important to really keep it going, and putting more content out there to really kind of reach the masses, and really just put out something good for people to listen to. Because I feel like podcasts right now, in general, it's a good way to really get the conversations going. But nonetheless, if it's something of interest to you, you can listen to it while you're working out, at home, you're cooking, you're cleaning, whatever. There's always going to be that moment where you definitely want something to really get the day going. You know, get yourself in a good vibe, and just, you know, hopefully this will be something that it's for your entertainment and you enjoy listening to. So I definitely want to say now that, you know, we're going to kick it up a notch. We're going to try to give you another extra episode, 2 episodes a month. So definitely, depending on the month, because I know some months are longer than others, we put out about 3 to 4 episodes a month, right? Something like that. but we're gonna give you, I would say, 2 more extra ones every other week, and I'm gonna try to reach out to various people to, have these random conversations. But like I said in the previous one that we just did, by now it's gonna be out, and we're gonna try to release these every other Wednesday. I had a good friend, Miguel, who's the owner of Mind and Soul, who came through the spot. We filmed it up and we talked and just kind of like caught up with what he was doing from back then, which is episode 34, which is wild. And we talked. We talked from there up until, after that episode up until now, catching up in 2022. This gentleman here has a phenomenal story. If you don't know, I don't want to spoil too much, but you're gonna have to check that out. It'll be out by when this hits on a Friday, so you'll definitely want to catch up on that. But I mean, it's something that we definitely enjoy doing, and it's something definitely that I enjoy doing personally. I found my niche. I guess you can say that, when you find a hobby, or I don't want to say this as a hobby. This is more like something that I just enjoy doing, but it's something that I definitely wanted to, I guess, put more into it, definitely put more out there. So I'm really excited to see where this is going to take us, and just hopefully it's something that it gets further and further out there to where, hey man, it's, possibilities are endless, I guess you can say, right? That's just kind of how I want to, say it. But no, dude, I mean, to switch from that, I know, I guess, we're pretty much like all over the place right now, I guess you could say, but
that's the Adderall talking.
That's the Adderall. That's the Coke talking. No, he's playing. No. No, but okay, so let's just change the topic a little bit. What do you think about the outcome of this whole slap around the world, slap that was heard around the world, Will Smith? I know, as you can.
Glad you went there.
So okay, so as by now we've probably heard that the Oscars has banned him for 10 years. What do you think, my friend? Do you think that's enough to say as a like I guess you could say a timeout type deal, or what do you think? What are your thoughts on that?
In all honesty, I'm happy.
Okay.
I'm happy with the decision that they made.
Okay.
The Academy. I know that Will Smith, he resigned himself, but now the Academy is like, dude, you're done for 10 years, banned, 10 years.
Wild. Yep.
But I think that that's really good, because I think what was the fear, just like what you and I are witnessing in real life with like police, and they're basically handcuffed from doing their job. And now a lot of comedians were afraid. A lot of club owners were afraid, because they were like, okay, now we're going to have to beef up security, because Will Smith just basically normalized being able to slap a comedian for a joke that they disagreed with. So is this going to happen on a larger scale? And that's one thing I myself was afraid of, was concerned with, at least, because comedians, you need comedy. Comedy is like one of the most crucial elements in a society to keep us together. They are a glue that we need to be able to keep everything.
Laughter too, bro. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And so, and someone, on Chris Rock's level, someone on his level, if they would have come up with anything short, if they wouldn't have done a ban at all, that would have been an offense to people like Chris Rock and his kind, because now they're left unprotected.
Yeah.
And we all saw too, the Oscars, security did not come up to save Chris Rock. There was no security whatsoever.
Now that you bring that up, I'm
did
surprised.
anything to protect him.
Yeah.
So, was this going to be something that, and it's still to be seen, is, are comedians at risk? Because people like, Seinfeld have decided to quit years ago, to stop their acts at colleges, because the colleges developed this cancel culture that basically pushed away any type of controversial comedy, and that type of comedy is needed to be able to talk about sensitive issues, sensitive topics, and when you take that away, then you've taken the humor out of life. And humor, what they say is laughter is the best medicine. And I think that's very true in
Yes.
society, and especially in American society. So yes, I am glad that that they came out with a stiff penalty like that. You know, because I mean, what are you going to do? Fine him? He'll pay the fine, right?
Yeah.
He's a multi-millionaire. He'll you know, all he'll do is make another movie. But I'm talking about Will Smith, and but if you punish him in a way that you take that away from him, take, you know, that thing that he wants the most, and you basically cut his Achilles ankle, then that may be a lesson not just that Will Smith learns, but then anyone else who is on the bad side of a joke. Jada Pinkett Smith, you know, let her see that. Let her
Yeah.
see whatever she whispered in his ear in that 3 seconds that camera didn't that the Oscars is not releasing that film on. Let that be a lesson to her as well. Let that be a lesson to the son. I forget what his name was.
Jaden.
Jaden?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Jaden, that says, this is how we do it. Let that be a lesson to him. Let this be a lesson to the Smith family, but then also anyone else who wants to resort to violence in the
Yeah.
future.
Yeah,
That's-
man.
That's my take.
It's crazy though, because now I think the eyes are turning to Jada. Like, so this is what you wanted for your husband to pretty much, get banned from the Oscar for 10 years. And I have to follow up with some humor though, because I guess we're talking about humor, how it's like,
Yeah.
it's one of the funny things for me that I've seen. It's a fucking meme that someone put out there that they're like, maybe Tupac faked his own death to get away from Jada.
I think that's true, dude. That's a conspiracy that I would ride with. I would ride with that one.
Oh
Yes.
my god, bro!
Yes.
I was, it's just insane that it's like, at first I feel like there was people were divided, right? They were trying to debate whether they're gonna take the side of Will or Chris, and I think there's more of a support for Chris Rock on, he was just up there doing his thing, being a comedian, just cracking some shit, cracking some jokes, given that the people at the front, they're gonna get it, they're gonna get some of that heat, but obviously not in the most, negative intentions whatsoever. I mean, that's just what he's doing. He's a comedian at the end of the day, and for that to happen, it's like I said, I'm still kind of pretty surprised that it went down the way it went down. But I mean, at the end of the day, he pretty much has to deal with the consequences. I mean, I think at this point, there should be no surprise that he's going to get, banned from the Oscars, and it is what it is at the end of the day. So, I mean, he's going to have to deal with it.
Do you agree with that as well? Or
I mean, dude, I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, if that's what it takes, I mean, if that's what the outcome of that's going to be, so be it. I mean, dude, he put himself in that position, right? I mean, he had a choice. He did what he had to do. Hey, man, that's how life is, man. That your actions sometimes give you those consequences, and that's what happens. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's just that simple. But out of anybody else, it's like Will Smith. Out of everybody else, I honestly didn't expect him to do that. So, hey, man.
I was thinking of, like, Eminem, right? He had that lyric, Will Smith ain't got a cuss in his rap to sell records. Well, I do. So fuck him and fuck you too. And I was just thinking, if you had a crystal ball and someone said, well, someone's going to get banned from the Oscars for 10 years. Who is it?
I would want to hear his take on it.
Everybody would have said Eminem.
Right. I was like, I would definitely want to ask him, like, so do you think those lyrics that he said are applicable to Will Smith now, knowing that he did that? You know what I'm saying? It's fucking wild, bro.
I can't wait for what's that show that Jada does, some table talk or whatever?
The Red Table Talk, yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, whatever it is. Who gives a fuck? But but
some table talk.
I want to see. So remember when he that was the place where he cried about the August thing, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to see him. I want to see his reaction. I want to see him back on. Because this. Hey, I'm a capitalist pig, just like anybody else. And so Jada, run with this. Please just run with this. Get Big Willie style on your table talk, the red table talk, whatever the fuck you call it, and get him on there again and have him open, and don't let him go to all these other. No, this has got to be a family situation, and I want to see Jaden's little ass up there too, and I want to see a fucking Smith family conversation on the Red Table Talk or whatever the fuck it's called, and I want to hear what this is. Jada, listen, look in my eyes. Tell the world what you said in that 3-second clip that the Oscars isn't playing. Say what you said.
Yeah.
Put this out in the world, and Will Smith, look at my eyes. Hey, I know you messed up. I get it. You messed up. Just be open with it. Tell everybody. We know you messed up. You're a good person. You are a good person. But cry again on the table talk. I need more tears because I need more memes. I want to see more memes.
It's all for the memes. It's all for the memes.
But also, it's a chance for them to like clear everything. Just it's like get over this. And Oscars. This is look at my eyes. Let Kanye back in. Kanye did nothing.
I know.
Kanye did nothing. Let him back in.
This is like what is it? This is like light work to what Kanye did. Dude, Kanye probably tweeted or fucking posted up a few things, but it's like at this caliber, nah, you got the wrong person.
Kanye, he's taken the side of all the other Wyoming farmers, right? Let Wyoming farmers have a say and let Kanye back in the Oscars. That's all I'm saying.
I'm with you.
That's
Yeah,
all I'm saying.
We're with you. The TikTok podcast is with you instead. But it's I would not be surprised. Actually, now that you mentioned the Red Table Talk or whatever the fuck it's called, I would not be surprised if they somehow get Chris Rock and Will Smith on a fucking show. I would not doubt it. We're putting out there. Brett Sardamas guess right there.
Yeah, I forgot about
that's our guess.
Chris
dude.
Rock. Yes, Chris Rock. He is a 57-year-old, 165-pound hero, in my opinion.
Yeah, man.
In my eyes, I love Chris Rock, and it's just like what he did not deserve that. He did not deserve that.
Fuck no.
And yes, Jada. Look at my eyes. Get Chris Rock up in there, like my man just said. Yeah, my man just came out with the bread.
Dude,
bring that
good.
bread.
Hey, dude.
Get him on there.
No credits for free. There you go. You know what I'm saying? That's from us to you. So hey, like I said, I'm not charging anything, but that's a fucking idea. That will reel in some fucking views for you guys. So clear the fucking air. You know what I'm saying? So move on. But nah, man, it's wild. It's wild. Again, I'm not surprised. It is what it is, and it's just gonna be remembered. It's literally cemented in Oscar history now. So at this point, it's gonna be fucking replayed years and years down the road. And it's unfortunate, but I guess at the end of the day, he did what he did. So
Dude,
hey, man, live with the consequences at that point. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to all of the people creating some of those kick-ass memes.
Oh, dude,
people upped the level on memes on this.
Oh, dude, it's a fucking art now.
Amazing.
It's a skill. I consider meme making a fucking skill at this point. Like you would have to get paid to make the most fucking fire ass memes, and we're all about that. I mean, we post that shit on our Instagram, so it's only good for entertainment, and we love that. We love laughter. We love having a fucking good time. So keep at it, and salute to all you people that are doing it. So it's lovely, and I like the one that you made. I think I gotta give you kudos. We're gonna be close to closing this one out. I have to give. I was fucking laughing so hard when you sent me the meme, and go check it out. Again, for the people who are not following and listening to this and are just strictly audio, it is worthy of you going checking this out for yourselves with your own two eyes. At the Tudux Podcast on Instagram. Go check out the meme where it's literally Suge Knight, Marion Suge Knight with a cigar in his lips, and he's like, what did it say? Uncle Phil watching the Grammys like. I was like, yes, this is perfect for Suge Knight. This is so perfect. You said you were saving that in the arsenal for the perfect moment, and nonetheless, it was the perfect moment for doing that.
I just knew that manifestation.
Oh, dude. Perfectly. Oh my God, that was perfect. That was beautiful. It got some good activity too. I noticed that a lot of people were fucking with it. So, dude, it was icing on the cake. That was good. Well. Well,
New World, I love you.
yeah. But right. For the most part, there's some good and some bad, but hey, that's just it's a counterbalance, I guess you can say, right? But with that being said, whew, I think we reached the ending point of our 100th episode. Again, we're gonna leave this out with saying again, thank you for everybody that's been running with us since the beginning.
Yes.
100 fucking episodes, and we're gonna cross that 200 bounce very, very soon. But till then, we're gonna have a good time doing this and enjoy doing this. And again, thank you for everybody that's been following us since day one. But with that being said, we'll catch you in the next one. Follow us on the at the Tiptix Podcast on Instagram. Catch our stuff on YouTube, Spotify, TuneIn FM Radio, every major streaming platform. And we love you. Have a good Friday. Have a good weekend. Until the next one, peace, baby.
Peace.